Yo, 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 welcome back to Fighting with Friends. It's your boy, brother guy, up back again with another preview of One Friday Fights 149, which will be live the 3rd of April at 1:30 South African time on YouTube. And if not, if you guys don't have the patience or don't have the time for YouTube, please go and sign up to live.1fc.com. You can get yourself exclusively access to the inner circle where you have access to the first 5 fights of the Friday Fights card. Very, very cheap. It doesn't really cost that much money. And also the prices vary from wherever you are around the world. Check your local listings, check your payment structure. Like I said, it does change depending on where you are in on the continent, whichever continent that you're on. But before I get into the card, please like, share, and subscribe. Just keeping you guys reminded that we will be doing a live watch along as per usual for this Friday Fights card. Every single Friday, 1:30 South African time, we go live on YouTube. So if you don't get the access to the fights, tune into Fighting with Friends, guys. We do this live every single Friday, and we keep you guys up to date along with some picks. If you want to make some money, we do that as well. So stay tuned for that. But it's called "If I Was a Betting Man" segment, which we go live on Thursday, 9 p.m. South African time. So literally today, of the time of recording, we will do that episode today. But for now, we're gonna keep it with One Friday Fights 149, where we're gonna break down this fight cost and we bring it up on screen for you guys, and then we'll go through it from the top of the card. It is a banger. I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was thinking, lots of debutants again, not too hyped. But then I was like, you know what? Looking through the card again, I thought, okay, some really fun cards. Can't say that that's very very valuable, which I'll break down this evening. I can't say that it's very valuable, but I will say this: there are some fights on this card that I'm quite interested to keep an eye on. But before we do that, let's go straight to the top of this card where we break it down. So starting with Tomyamkoong taking on Bejenuta Maximus. This is Flyweight Muay Thai. This is the card that's going to be basically live on YouTube for free. So everyone will be able to watch this part of the fight card. It will go live, I think, if I'm not mistaken, probably like around 3:30 South African time on YouTube. So it'll be 2 hours. It'll be 2 hours from 1:30. So yeah, that's about 3:30. Like I said, this fight for me is not too bad. A couple of things for me that makes me a bit concerned for this fight. Both guys is number one height. There's a massive height discrepancy between the two guys. I think Maximus is quite tall in comparison to Tomyamkoong. But on the other side, Maximus has never really fought Muay Thai small gloves. That's a big thing. I know he's got some good names. Some good resume outside of one championship. But I don't know if it's going to correlate or move over into small gloves Muay Thai. So let's go to some numbers and we'll break down some X's and O's. Tomyamkoong is 21 years old. His record in one championship is 2 wins, 2 losses, 0 no contest. He's got 1 win by KO. He's on a 2-fight winning streak, and he beat Wajarapon, which was actually quite impressive, by second round KO in his last fight. Like I mentioned, he's very good, very very good southpaw fighter. He's got powerful hands, got good kicks, but I think his boxing is probably where it's at. He's taking on Bejenuta Maximus, who is making his debut. He's 23 years old. His record currently stands at 16 wins, 3 losses in kickboxing. It's obviously outside of one championship. He fought on a promotion called FEA Grand Prix. That was the last fight I watched actually of his when I got the tape. He lost to an opponent named by Zadoro Zhiniak, and that was unanimous decision. He does have a very kickboxing heavy style, so he's got a wide stance and he bounces quite a bit. He's got that forward, backward stance the whole time that he does. It consistently bounces off it. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to tell you guys that he's fantastic. I'm just gonna lie to you. Based on what I've watched, I found his fighting style to be a little bit sloppy. He's got a decent kick. His footwork is actually what his best weapon is for me. Is the fact that he's able to move really well in there. He's shadow dashing forward and backwards. His lateral movement is really good. He's got a pace which I think can be a bit of a problem for Tomyamkoong in terms of that. It's a high pressure, not necessarily high volume, but it's high pressure and it's like a go kind of nature. But what I watched in the tape was every fight I've seen of his that I've watched the links that I've received, he is hittable. Everyone hits him. Everyone cracks him all the time. He's a little bit. The keyword I wrote down here in capital letters on my notes is sloppy, and it's a shitty thing to say about a fighter, but he is sloppy. He is. he's bouncing. But then when he goes forward and when he puts combinations on you, he's always getting hit on the entry. And then while he's in the pocket and he's throwing his pieces, he gets tagged on the exit. So it's like he's actually losing the exchanges, which I don't like. And so even with that height advantage and that style, I'm just not too confident that it's gonna be able to get him a win here in this fight. Now that being said, we watched Valerie Stungari fight against Sanit and also went toe to toe with Enkiankai last week. He's another fighter that looks strange and it's like, oh, what's this man's buzz like? And I think he comes from the same promotion as Maximus. But then he pulls off an upset and beats Sanit. And then he goes 3 rounds where you go, oh shit, he actually took it. He took Denka and Cry into 3 tough rounds. And you go, it wasn't a complete one-sided affair, even though Denk did win the fight. And I'm sure we all can agree he did win the fight. But I'm sure we all can also agree that Valerie put up a very good fight against him and actually gained a lot of respect from all the fans because it's like, oh shit, he actually went 3 rounds, hard 3 rounds against a top guy who's on a 5-fight winning streak, right? So we have to put respect on that. So that being, why I'm bringing that up is because even though I don't really rate Maximus that much based on what I saw on the tape, I do think that if he keeps that exciting footwork along with the range and the height that he has as an advantage and works off his jabs and enters, but then make sure that he enters just to land and get out of there, I think he stands a very good chance of winning this fight by decision. He might even catch Tomyamkoong in the later rounds because Tomyamkoong might get aggressive to get the knockdown or to get something back because he's maybe been pieced up by being outpointed. So he might get aggressive and then abandon some of those defenses to take a shot, but then to land his bigger shot, right? It's a big risk, but I think it will help for Tomyamkoong. But I also feel like he could also walk into something big by fighting that way. But that's all if the fight goes in a way where Tomyamkoong isn't getting anything off within the early rounds and he's not landing anything or he's not able to deal with. Because I think the first thing we're going to notice in this fight for me is that Tomyamkoong is going to have to first slow Maximus down. Bejenuta. He's going to have to slow him down. That's a guarantee. That's something I can say right now. It's a guarantee that Maximus is going to dance around him. That's going to be the first and foremost thing I want to understand is that he's going to move a lot. He's going to use that bouncing hippie hop stance from boxers use. Right? He's going to have to do that a lot. And Tomyamkoong is going to have to first track that down or at least figure out a way how to deal with that. Whether he goes forward and just eliminates that by putting high pressure on Maximus, or does he play the game of timing and let Maximus come to him and then catch him with something hard on the entry or on the exit or something like that. It's one of the two things he's going to have to do for me in this fight. Because if he does none of that, he's going to be chasing shadows in this fight. He's going to realize very soon he's under the gun here. He's going to have to do something big to catch up to Maximus. I don't think Maximus is the better fighter. I think kickboxing, yes, but not in this style, not in Muay Thai. I think Tomyamkoong is a stronger fighter. I think he's got more power. I think he's most devastating in this discipline in terms of Muay Thai as well. But it's just the thing that makes me worried for Tomyamkoong in this fight is just the sheer movement of Maximus and the height. He's going to struggle with that height, and he might struggle with tracking him down, and he could walk to something big. So Tomyamkoong's probably going to be the big favorite here, but I don't think the fight's going to be as cut and dry as what we think it is. Even though I don't rate Maximus that much. One thing I've learned from watching Valerie's fights, which is from the same camp as Maximus, is that you just can't be for sure. You just can't. Even if it was, because for example, that fight between Sanit and Valerie, there was a massive skill gap between the two guys, right? But Valerie still ended up pulling the win off and getting the knockout, right? Even against Enkiankai, I thought Enkiankai was miles ahead of Valerie, but Valerie still was dangerous until the very last minute of that fight. And you can even argue that he was beaten up better than Enkiankai in the third round. So that just taught me to go, you know what, you can't just really say, okay, I've watched tape on this guy, I've seen tape on this guy, and I've watched Tomyamkoong a little bit more in 4-ounce gloves. I think he has advantages, and those things may be true, but it's still not a guarantee when it comes down to the fight itself, right? So, which is why I'm not really fully convinced on this fight in terms of picking a winner. But I won't be surprised to see if Tomyamkoong is the main event. Is the favorite in this fight of the year. What you guys can do though in the comment section is let me know what you think about that main event. Give me your thoughts in the comment section. I'd love to know what your picks are for this fight card. Just a reminder again to drop a like, share, and subscribe. For now, we will keep moving to the co-main event, which I think is probably the biggest fight in this fight card. Let's go. Yeah, I say biggest fight in the fight card because, to be honest with you guys, the fight card is not necessarily stacked with a lot of high-profile names. If I'm being honest with you. A lot of these names in this fight card are primarily are undercard fighters, not necessarily main card fighters. Especially before we had the paywall system, before we had the inner circle, a lot of these names were fighting prelims. So that tells you that. That's why I'm saying that this co-main event between Isannuea and Khunpon, hands down, takes the fight for me for the fight card. This is the fight of the night for me. I'm calling it now already. So staying in the flyweight Muay Thai division, Isannuea really becoming one of the fan favorites in my opinion. 22 years old, his record in one championship is 3 wins, 3 losses in no contest. I love that he's got 6 fights already in the space of a year and a half, which shows you the incredible nature of the young man. And he's also fought against some good names in those 6 fights. He's got 3 wins by KO. He beat Sanit by second round KO in his last fight. Impressive win, by the way. I thought he was an absolute stud in that fight. He fought like a champion. He's taking on Khunpon, who's 20 years old. His record currently in one championship is 4 wins, 0 losses, 0 no contest. 4 wins by unanimous decision. He beat Isannuea by unanimous decision in his last fight. And I remember I had a little bit of not a negative back and forth, but a good dialogue with the SPV when it came around Khunpon for that fight against Isannuea. Because I remember he was telling me Khunpon not good at dealing with low kicks, and I agree with him. I just felt that the style of Khunpon, Khunpon was going to keep him safe in that fight because Isannuea, lack of a better term, is kind of past his best a little bit. So it was like, I know he's dangerous, I know he's powerful, but I just felt that he was going to struggle with the not necessarily unorthodox nature of Khunpon, but Khunpon is throwing strikes at the range where Isannuea can't really counter outside of just throwing a low kick. There's a punching going in with the boxing, you'd have to get a lot closer. Khunpon wasn't necessarily allowing him to get that close, which is why I was like, I'm a bit hesitant to go Isannuea in that fight. In this fight, however, I'm not too sure if Khunpon is going to be able to deal with Isannuea. I like Khunpon. I think he's got a decent height for the division. I think he's like 5'11", if I'm not mistaken. Could be a little bit shorter than that. 5'10". Right, so that's already he's on the taller side of the division in terms of flyweights. Right, a lot of the guys don't really make that height. So he's on the taller side of the division. Right, Isannuea I think is like 5'8" to 5'9", if I'm not mistaken. 5'7", even smaller. However, the styles are completely different. Khunpon's more of a point fighter. You could argue maybe even a 5 rounds, big gloves kind of guy because of the pace that he fights. He's not high volume. He's not high pace. He's not high energy in there. He's using his range. He looks for tips. He looks for high kicks on the counter when he's going backwards. When he's under siege, he does seem to go to a 1-2, which is the right, left straight. That's kind of what his go-to weapon is when he's under siege. And then he looks to counter with high kicks when he's going backwards. Bounce with the rope, high kick, bounce with the rope, and then kind of gets out of there. Outside of that, offensively going forward, I don't know if he puts Isannuea in trouble, if I'm being honest. Isannuea, on the other hand, is devastating. Powerful boxer, decent inside low kick. I feel like his pressure game is one of the fight styles where, the running joke that's going on in our channel with the SPV saying Sudanlek doesn't lose fights, he only lands at the time. Right? If you look at Sudanlek's fights, he normally loses the first 2 rounds and then third round he's knocking you out, right? So everyone's beating up Sudanlek, but he's got this nature of when he locks in, when he's like, okay, now I'm gonna do whatever I can to make sure I'm gonna land this big shot on your face. Right? When Sudanlek commits to something like that, he becomes virtually unstoppable. Like he literally just goes forward through everything you're gonna throw at him, and he's gonna hit you. Isannuea is similar in the sense of like he also doesn't lose it at the time. If you look at the fights that he had in one championship, right? So he knocked out Sanit, he lost to Pampadet. Pampadet fought a very good fight. I low-key feel like he's underrated amongst the community. He knocked out Focus. That wasn't even a close contest. The fight I really want to highlight is the 2 fights he had with Deco. He lost both those fights. One by split decision, one by unanimous decision. Deco is really widely regarded as a top tier fighter that's not really ranked, got a contract just yet. Like he's right there. He's very, very close. Isannuea fought those 3 fights for me so wow that you could flip a coin and pick a winner. even though the one decision unanimous, I thought both fights would have gone split decision because Isannuea, he lands at the time, he had Decker going backwards a lot of the times in those fights because he's so aggressive and he walks forward. The difference between Isannuea and Sudanek is Isannuea doesn't get beaten up that easily. He doesn't just take leg kicks. He doesn't just take the shots to the head. He's defensive when he goes forward, but he's going to go forward all the time. You're not really going to back him up. And Deco is super skillful, and he couldn't back up Isannuea at all. So, there was moments where we had to put him in the clinch, but the fact that he went toe-to-toe with such a skillful fighter tells you, and all the other fights that he's been in, even with Panpadet, I actually felt that he kind of, that fight was a lot closer than what it says on paper. But even that fight as well, Panpadet had to fight a little bit back foot, and he had to pull things out of the fire because he was getting beaten up. But you could see the face of Panpadet. He wasn't necessarily beaten up, but you could see the exhaustion in his face and his eyes. He was just like, oh my word. And what kind of fight was that? It's like he was put through the tumble dryer. And that's what Isannuea does to you. If you can sit here and say, okay, he's got good kicks and he's got good punches and she's got best elbows and she's got good clinch knees, right? Everyone's got good styles that they're good at, right? But what it really comes down to is who deploys the best game plan, who executes the correct game plan to deal with whatever. Maybe you got better technique than me and I don't have the right technique, but I'm effective with the way that I use my punches. You know what I mean? And Isannuea, what I like about him is that his pressure, I haven't seen a single fight in his 6 fights in one championship where his fight style, where people was able to deal with his pressure. Deco beat him because Deco just found, okay, if you're going to keep pressuring me, I'm going to put you in the clinch and I'm going to fuck you up in the clinch, basically. Right? And that's what he did really well. Isannuea wants to find that knockout shot. He wants to put pressure on you and then utilize inside low kicks and then to set up those boxing shots. I just think that Khunpon is not going to have a good time dealing with that kind of pressure. Out in the open, I think it's fair game. I think when they're in the middle of the ring, it's fair game right there. I think there it's 50-50. But as soon as Khunpon decides to take a back step, you basically conceded the position. You conceded your chances of staying in control of the fight. Basically, you do not want to take a back step against Isannuea because you do that, basically giving him the chance to fuck you up. So yeah, that's my take on this fight. I'd love to get your thoughts. I feel like Isannuea is probably going to be a big favorite in this card here. Might not even be a good value on him, but you can put him in a parlay. You could get some value there. But let's talk about that a little bit this evening. For now, we'll keep it moving to the next part of the fight. Right, so we have featherweight Muay Thai division. I'm very much looking forward to going forward now since we have Crocodilo as the interim champion. I'm excited for this division. Guillen taking on my guy Ali Kelat. I like this fight. I like this fight a lot. Kelvin, I said Kevin. It's Kevin, yeah. I don't know why I said Kelvin. Kevin Guillen, he's making his one championship debut. He's 29 years old. If you don't know, check out his Instagram. He's WBC ISKA Spain champion. He's also got a title with Kochuk 2023 champion. He's also K1 2018 champion. So he's got some titles, but a lot of it is regional tournaments. International tournaments. But he's got titles. Let's put it that way. He's racked up some titles over his career so far. He's taken on Ali Kelat. A lot of those titles and those fights from Kevin Guillen are kickboxing events other than the Muay Thai fights, even though it does say that he's done Muay Thai in his career. A lot of those titles are kickboxing titles. Ali Kelat is 26 years old. His record in one championship is 2 wins, 0 losses, 0 no contests. He's got 2 wins by KO. He beat Petkau Kradong by first round KO in his last fight. Just blasted right through him within the first round like a madman. Which is why I'm excited for this fight. Just like the fight between Isannuea and Khunpon, this one's also got fireworks for me. I looked at Kevin's tape, and my notes I've got here: aggressive southpaw, decent body kicks, good pace. He's got a very good pace. Okay, boxing, a little bit hittable on the boxing side of things. And remember, this is small gloves, not big gloves. He's got a decent right hand, but he could get caught here for me because of the sheer nature of how he's a bit sloppy when he's going on the offense. And he has a very big tendency to start the fight all out. And what I watched was round 2 and 3. I don't like what I see in him. He fades really hard, and I don't like that. I feel like that's going to be something that could be exploited in this fight. I expect him to start fast again because it's going to be his debut, so he's going to want to put on a show and get that bonus. But I find that that's going to play into Ali Kelat's hands. If you look at Ali Kelat's fight style, it's like another one of those Guillen type fighters. I know I'm sounding like an asshole by saying placing them all as the same kind of fighter, but you fight where you're from, right? Your fight style is basically based on your region or which gym you're going to fight at. And we look at a lot of the Turkish fighters, they are very kickboxing-esque nature fight styles. Sharp boxing, very good technique, good footwork. It's like the Moroccans. It's like your not necessarily Dutch kickboxers, but if you look at sometimes even the Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan Muay Thai guys, it's got that kickboxing nature style as well. Iman Ghazalev is another example, and he's from Russia. So they all kind of got that similar style. I don't like saying it because it's like you're placing everybody under one box, but that's just how you get trained in your region. It's like all Japanese guys are fantastic at kickboxing because they deploy the Kyokushin mixed with that kickboxing. That's just what they do. No one else does it like that. But Ali Kelat has got that vibe like Marat Gordon. He doesn't necessarily throw a lot of high kicks, but they will chop you down on the low kick. They'll chop you with the body kicks. But what they really want to do is he's getting tight and let that crisp boxing go. Ali Kelat's got beautiful boxing. But defensively between the two guys as well. I think Kevin doesn't really have great defense. When I watch this fight style, he's got that all gas, no brakes, go. And I feel like kickboxing allows you to do that because you got the bigger gloves. So you got that. You can't put in a big pace where you just kick, kick. You can't do that. In Muay Thai, it's not the same, especially in the small gloves Muay Thai. You can't just offload a 5, 6, 7 piece combination. You're gonna get cracked after your first shot. You might even get counted before you even let your first punch go. It's not the same thing. The risk is much higher in small gloves Muay Thai than it is in kickboxing. Not saying this discipline is better than the other one, but just fine. Look at the kickboxing fighters. You don't really get a lot of knockouts. Unless you're watching heavyweight kickboxing or you're watching glory and you're watching the bigger guys fight. You don't really get a lot of knockouts. And also the style, the nature of having the bigger gloves allows fighters to offload a little bit more combinations because the risk of getting counted by something big is not going to be as the same. I've watched lots of fights, kickboxing, particularly when we get to like lightweight, featherweight, bantamweight. When we're going down, right, down in terms of weight classes, lighter weight classes, fighters get tagged, big shots, boom, 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 and it's like nothing happens, and they still go to decision. It's like, how the fuck did the bra not get knocked out? They still went to decision. So what that tells me is that bigger gloves does give you a little bit more protection. So then you don't have to keep your guard that tight. You can just keep it there and go. Might even take a shot, but you can take it and counter, and it allows that. And I feel like that doesn't carry over into small gloves Muay Thai because you either what will happen when you fight that way? You're either going to knock someone out or you're going to get knocked out yourself. It's not a safe way of fighting, right? Ali Kelat for me is the sharper puncher here. I think he's the more aggressive puncher. He's the more accurate puncher between the two guys as well. I think Kevin's style is fun to watch in kickboxing. It might even make for fun fights in Muay Thai as well. I just don't know if it's going to guarantee him a lot of wins. And second of all, it's going to be his first time competing at one championship. So what it's going to mean is it's going to be the first time he's going to experience hydration tests. And that's a big thing for me. That's where fighters make or break, right? So Kevin could have a very bad hydration test, ends up missing weight, and then they still did it as featherweight, but then he shows up maybe a couple of pounds over, body's not all right, takes a liver shot, goes down in the first round. There's just so many variables to this fight for me that makes me go, can't be confident in the guy that's got multiple titles here. At first glance, you would go, yeah, all day. But like I said, very hittable factor. Different discipline for him now. Taking on a very dangerous striker in Ali Kelat. And also, again, he's dealing with stuff he's never had to deal with before in terms of hydration tests. So that, for me, is big factors to think about when it comes to the fight of Kevin Guillen. But you guys know what to do in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on that fight. I'll have to get your picks. For now, we'll move to the next part. Let's go. All right. Up next, we have atomweight Muay Thai, arguably one of my favorite divisions to watch in Muay Thai. It is Khun Suk taking on Ha Leng This is going to be a good fight. Khun Suk, as you can see on screen there, has moved to a different gym. I know that he has not been at T1 Fight Academy. That's a very recent addition that I can see now. It wasn't there for his last fight. He's taken on the Burmese fighter in term Aling which I think is going to make for a fantastic fight. Some records here, some numbers. Kunsuk is 22 years old. His record in one championship is 8 wins, 5 losses in no contest. So quite a bit of fights already. 6 wins by KO, 2 fight winning streak. He beat Nai in by unanimous decision in his last fight. Aling is 27 years old. His record in one championship is 1 win, 2 losses in no contest. He lost to Chat Pichit by unanimous decision. Pardon me, in his last fight. That was quite a predictable one for me. That wasn't an easy fight. I mean, that was an easy fight to pick. In this fight here, stylistically, they're not very different. Both guys are primarily boxing heavy approach fighters. I would argue that Kunsuk is probably the more polished between the two guys. If you look at their style, I think Kunsuk's got the bigger gun. I think he's got the cleaner boxing. His kicks aren't too bad, but boxing is where it's at for him. He's got good pressure. He also has this thing where what I notice is you round one is where he downloads information. Round two, you watch. It's a pattern I found in some of his fights now because I've been watching Kunsuk a lot. He does this thing in the later rounds, particularly from round two, like the start to the middle of round two. In the first round, you will see him keep the guard up and he'll pop out like jabs and he'll throw low kicks. It's just to look for tendencies from his opponent. Round two, he brings his hands closer to his face. And he'll do this as he walks forward. He'll just basically move side to side but he'll be walking forward while he's doing this. Then there's a big thing he does. The thing that went trending on X with Dustin Poirier, when Dustin Poirier pulls up his shorts, then you pretty much fucked after that, right? He kind of gets into his zone, his hands up like this, and you kind of know, okay, Dustin Poirier is locked in now. He's gonna go all out here, right? Kunsuk does something similar. He doesn't necessarily pull up his shorts. What he does is he'll do this thing, right? He'll walk forward. Then he does the smirk. You'll stand there and he'll just go. You just start smiling. When he does that, I've seen him do it now in a number of fights. When he does that smirk, I was like, oh shit, this one is immediately all right, he's kind of found his rhythm. He found exactly the range and rhythm and timing on you. And I was like, okay, I know how to get my kill shot on you now. Target locked in, let's go. He does that. I've seen it happen now frequently in his fight. He did it in the last fight against Nayin, but he didn't necessarily get the finish. But I mean, it was a one-sided fight. It wasn't even close. The contest wasn't even close at all. He had big power in that fight. So that's something I picked up from Kunsuk, is that when he smiles at you, then you know for a fact that he's got you. He's got your target. It's basically checkmate from there. He's gonna take you out. Alengum is a good fighter. He's got a big heart. He's also a good boxer. Decent elbows on defense, especially when fighters come at him. He throws out elbows, which is really good. I do find that he's going to be a little bit under the pump in this fight here. I think his nature of moving a lot will keep him safe. He's going to have to use that. He's going to have to work with his jab as well. I don't think he should go toe-to-toe with Kunsuk, because if he does that, it gets into the pocket with him and stand him bang, I think he's going to lose. He comes to second best every day of the week in that fight, even though he's fighting out of Myanmar. The Myanmar guys love fighting in the pocket. But I don't think it's going to favor him in this fight. I think Kunsuk's got the bigger gun here, so he's going to have to be careful how he navigates that big gun, especially coming from the right side. Kunsuk likes that right straight. It's one of his favorite weapons to throw. And he's also, like I mentioned, he's got a pressure-heavy game. So what's going to do here, from my perspective, is I think Kunsuk's going to basically walk him down the whole time, and he's going to force Halingom to fight the back foot, at which point I feel that's when Kunsuk catches him off that back foot entry. Tricky fight, fun fight, but tricky fight more so for Halingom than it is for Kunsuk. That being said, Kunsuk does give fights away. There's fights where you think to yourself, how did he lose? How did he end up losing that fight? He's so good. How did he end up losing that fight? But I will say this, Kunsuk has changed over the last year. I think 2025 was a big year for him. Because in 2024, I watched a lot of his fights in 2024, and I was like, okay, he's decent. 2023, I'm like, nah, I'm a fan. You got me locked in. But then in 2024 he started that year off with a win against Muay, but then he went on a 2-fight losing streak, right? Chet Pichat, Tomyamkoong, both beat him. Then he beat Kong Burapa. Then he lost to Pet, who's also top name in the division right now. Right, so 2024 he had 3 fights, 2 losses. So I was like, oh. I think coming back into 2025, we started the fight year off with a win and then lost to Pet again. I mean, lost to Pitt, and then he lost to Chat. I think that's when I started noticing the change. So April 2025 is when I started noticing the shift in the way Kunsuk fight. Even though got knocked out by Pitt, I still found okay, he's fighting a little bit differently. I saw the changes in the fight against Chat, even though he lost that fight as well. It looked a little bit different for me. Fight against Tomyamkoong, we lost before. He won every round in that fight and even got the finish. And I was like, there's a different look the way Kunsuk is fighting. And then obviously, like I mentioned against Nagin, same thing. It's just a different breed right now. He's not overly reliant on boxing, and also he's not taking out the back foot as much as he used to. Now that he's going forward, he's defensive, which is allowing him to put pressure on fighters, and then allows him to stay where he wants to stay in his range. Different fighter right now. He's not fighting the same anymore, which is why I'm very impressed with what Kunsuk is doing. But that's going to be a good fight. I think that fight's going to be one for the fans, so keep a lookout for that one. Could easily be fight of the night as well. But for now, we will move to the next bout in the fight card. Let's go. Before I continue, I just want to say, please, again, like, share, and subscribe, everybody. Get involved in that comments. I want to quickly do a big shout out to DSPV and his friends for keeping it down, guys. I want to say a big thank you to all of you that's been helping out the channel. There was something that I used to do a lot. In the early stages of our previews for One Friday Fights was whenever there was a NPC picture like that you see on screen right now, whenever there was a faded out picture like that, which means the fight is debuting, I used to sometimes just go, nope, I'm bypassing this fight. I'm going to skip it. I'm not going to talk about it because it's someone that's debuting. I don't want to talk about someone that's debuting on the card. I want to keep it strictly one championship. But I think TSPV took the initiative to notice that I needed help when it came to that. And so he provided me with more information about these debut fighters, giving me access to be able to find information with fighters that are debuting on the Friday Fights card, which then allows me to talk about these fights a little bit more in depth. Now I've got tape study, I've got notes, I've got links. So a big thanks goes out to you, DSPV, for basically allowing me to up my game when it comes to doing research on these guys and giving our audiences a little bit more in-depth analysis about these fights. So yeah, much love goes out to you guys. But okay, Strawweight MMA, a division that I'm very much locked in because we got Bokang Masenane on this division. So obviously my eyes are all locked in on this division. So I'm looking forward to this particular fight that's going to come up next. We have Todepchi Dongak taking on Pavis Khamidzhonov from Tajikistan. That's how you say it, yeah. Tajikistan. So Parviz taking on Todepchi. I think this is going to be a fun fight. Obviously, it's not necessarily Russia and Russia, but it is like low-key the same region of fighters, so it's a similar style. Todepchi Dongak is 26 years old. His record in one championship is 4 wins, 2 losses, 0 no contests. He's got 3 wins by TKO, 3 fight winning streak. He beat Marwin Quarante by first round TKO in his last fight, just absolute mauling him. Parvez Khamidzhonov is making his one championship debut. He's 24 years old. His record overall is 5 wins, 1 loss. He's got 2 wins by KO, 3 wins by sub. He's an orthodox fighter. What I watch from him is someone that's very well versed in the fight style. He knows how to use his range really well. He's got very good footwork. Nice boxing. I love the way that he boxes. It's very accurate strikes. Decent pressure game. Very nice inside low kick. I think his low kicks are very good. It sets up a lot of his weapons, a lot of his combinations. But what I find more impressive about him is his grappling. He doesn't necessarily go for takedowns or go for grappling exchanges, even though he's got 3 wins by sub. I find that usually comes from people taking him down and he gets people subbed out. His thing is such a good weapon of his. He doesn't even have to use it. He just goes in there and strikes with you. He strikes. He's like, just you shoot and me, see what happens. So his striking is so good. It's almost like he forces fighters to wrestle with him, which is then even worse for his opponents because now he's actually in his world. Which is why I think he's a very devastating fighter. Which is another thing that makes me scared for the division because like I said, I'm a big fan of Bokang. But he's in a division now that's starting to get folded up with some fighters like Muay, for example. That's not in this division, but that style, that nature, that scariness of being such a well-rounded athlete, right? Normally you can say, okay, yeah, he's a good striker, but his grappling is questionable. Or he's a very good grappler, very good jiu-jitsu player, but his striking is where he's uncomfortable. So we're going to put him in those uncomfortable moments. With Pavas, I'm like, what is this man's weakness? Like, where is he most uncomfortable in the fight? I'm not so sure if I can say that to you guys with confidence because, again, the tape that I did watch on him, I'm like, this dude is so. Like, how do you beat this guy? What is his weakness? What is this man's weakness? Let me know in the comments, please. Jaradchai is a fucking monster in the ring. Like, this guy just keeps going. High volume, high pace, high aggression, makes the fight ugly. I think he's gonna have to use that in this fight against Pavas. In fact, he's gonna have to make it that the way that he fought against his last three opponents, that aggressive tornado-like nature of a fight where he just wants to go in there and put the hurt on you. Doesn't care how, he just wants to do it. Where he takes you down, puts the knees down and down on the feet. I think striking department, I think Dongak might have the better striking because he competed in kickboxing as well. So he's a decent striker in that regard, but I think his sheer aggression, his pressure he puts on fighters is what makes fighters fall to his style. I'm not so sure if Pabas is going to be concerned with that pressure because he's a very good fighter on the back foot as well. So this fight, initially, I was like, oh, I don't know who to pick here. I might want to go fight not going the distance, but whenever you get Russia versus Russia or Dagestani or Tajikistan or Uzbekistan or Kazakhstan or any one of those guys, they fighting against each other on the same region. They generally kind of stalemate the fight. Like, no one really pulls ahead of each other. They kind of equal each other out, and then it's like we go to a decision win, and we go, we don't really want to watch that fight again. That's the risk in this fight for me, which is why I'm holding up on this one and not actually giving a pick. I'm not confident in giving a pick for this fight, but I am very, very confident in saying I'm going to watch it, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they perform in this fight. And then only after this fight, I'll know what to do the next time these guys are on a fight card again. But for this particular fight, I actually can't give a pick. I think they're quite evenly matched. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. We'll keep it moving to the next part in the card. I have Ployjan versus Vanessa Romanowski. Now, Ployjan, name says Ployjan on screen, right? You see that spelling on screen. That's the notes that I received for this fight was this Ployjan is not making a debut. Now, when I click on this Ployjan on screen, this name, it takes me to the page where it gives you the information on the One Championship website. It says that this fighter is from Thailand, 5'4", 1.63 centimeters, 18 years old, and she's making her debut, right? But then there's a fighter with the same name that has fought in One Championship already twice before. Both fights she got knocked out. So now I'm not sure if it's that Ployjan or if this is a completely different Ployjan, because that Ployjan that got knocked out is 34 years old, not 18. And this has been a common occurrence in the One Championship website, where just last week Xing Yang, who fought, he apparently has got a brother, or apparently he's got two profiles on the website of One Championship. Right, same age, same name, but the picture's slightly different. Same German, the records are different. So it's like you go to asking yourself, is it the same person? Is it not the same person? To find out that it was the same person, it wasn't two different people. Now it's happening again. And this is confusing. It's like, oh, I don't know if this is Ployjan that's fought before, if this is a completely different person. I'm not so sure. Which is why I have got nothing to say about this fight. I'm just gonna leave it up to you guys. Talk about it in the comments. But we'll see which one shows up tomorrow when we look at the actually, you know what I'm gonna do live right now? I'm gonna go onto X and look at Nick Atkin's profile just to see if there are any face-offs. And if there are any face-offs, maybe I can see if it is her. Okay, what do we have here? No, it's not the same. No, it's not the same. It's not the same fighter. So it's not the same fighter. The SPV and co. So Ployjan, this is a completely different Ployjan. It's not the same one that fought back then. This is a completely different fighter. But it does not change my stance. I'm still going to move on to the next bout. Just like I just said now with Ployjan, this fight was a little bit difficult to find tape on Delfan Satrio from Indonesia. Very difficult to find tape. In fact, I actually found zero tape on this fighter, so I don't know anything about the individual. Laxisha Sataro, was able to watch a tape on this fighter. 24 years old, fought in Rise, coming from Team Teppen. He had 5 fights in Rise, 2 wins, 3 losses. He's an orthodox fighter, very good low kicks, looks good. His boxing looks okay. Decent body kicks. Pressure is okay. but gets caught into stupid clinches, which I don't like after punching. It's like you'll stand there, you'll throw a body kick or a body shot, but a nice level shot with the left hand and overhand right, but then like falls into a clinch from there. And like, I hate that in kickboxing. I despise that in kickboxing. In Muay Thai, it's fine because you can still attack from there. You can go fall into a clinch, but you can still attack while you're in that clinch. In kickboxing, once you fall into the clinch, it's kind of like you can't do anything, and the referee will stop you guys almost immediately. And if it frequently, you could even get a yellow card for it. So that's why I don't like it. And fighters still tend to do it. One thing I did notice about Black Sisha is loose guard. His guard is not tight. It's not like he will throw a strike and then you come at him. He doesn't have the guard up there. When you attack him, the guard is open. It's loose. Again, kickboxers they rely on that big padding to just you don't have to fully tighten up your guard. You can just put the hands up and the punches will slide off your gloves, kind of thing. But that means you have a loose guard. So that means like a hard enough punch straight down the middle, break right through the guard and catch you on the face. And that's something I saw a lot in his fights, in Satario's fights. That being said, I don't have a pick. I don't have a pick for this fight, so I'm just going to see what happens on the night tomorrow, and we'll see how this guy show up. Now we'll keep it moving to the next fight, which I'm actually very, very excited for. Let's go. I'm very excited for this fight because I think Isaiah Badato is a fantastic prospect. And I think he's going to put up a good fight and become a very good addition to One Championship. If he has a very good performance here, I think he's probably going to be called back again. Isaiah Badato is making his championship debut tomorrow. Excuse me. This is going to be Flyweight Kickboxing. He's 19 years old. He's coming out of Australia. He's a 3-time Australian national champion. Kickboxing. His record is 11 wins, 5 losses, 1 no contest. He's a primary back foot fighter, from what I noticed. Got very good knees. What I like about him is his defense, and even on defense, when he's on the back foot and he's defending, he will do your Justin Gaethje low kicks, right? He will attack your legs, even when you're pushing him backwards. He's kicking your legs, which is what I like. I love that about fighters. Is having an active defense. It's a very good thing to have. You don't just want to be taking shots the whole time and not retaliate. And then when you retaliate, you become a little bit predictable. What he's doing is you'll attack, and then you'll know, okay, cool, you have to attack me now. And then when he's defending, he's still throwing something at you. Not necessarily punches, because you have to open up your guard for that. You'll take the shot, but he's making sure he's landing on your legs. He's kicking you while he's going backwards, which I like, because then that basically in every exchange, you're paying for that exchange. Even if you're going forward, you're paying for that exchange, which is what I liked about Badato. That's a sign of a very much a high IQ kind of fighter. He's taking on someone who I think is going to be tricky for him in Retsu Sashida. I think Retsu Sashida is not someone you play around with. He's 23 years old. His record in the championship is 1 win, 3 losses in no contest. He's got that 1 win came by a KO against Daniele Veleskin. That was second round KO. Basically just beat up the body of Daniele Veleskin. Veleskin also, in my opinion, should probably consider going down to strawweight because he's not the right size for flyweight. He may be muscle bound and bulky and stocky, but honestly, he's very much undersized for the division, which is why I think a lot of the guys are able to put him away. So what we're going to get here is Isaiah is a southpaw guy, high guard, low firing rate, but powerful shots, good low kicks, good deeps, decent elbows. You can't elbow in this fight. Retsu Sashida, on the other hand, typical Japanese kickboxer, guys. And you know what that means. Chopping low kicks, right? Stabbing deep kicks, pretty good high kicks, good body shots with the hands, sharp kickboxing nature, southpaw striker, so it's open stance fighting. So the power shots are going to be there. Even more so for Retsu Sashida to land that left deep kick. It's going to be easier for him to land it now than it would be if he was fighting against another southpaw guy. So it opens up both their weapons. I do think that Isaiah may have the heavier shot between the two guys, but I just think that Retsu Sashida's style is, because he's got that high volume and the dynamic movement and the target choices of the Japanese kickboxers, it may just be uncomfortable for Badato. But that being said, it's the fight that I'm actually looking forward to, and I'm very much intrigued for this matchup. can't say that I got a pick, which is also why I'm skipping it. But if you were to choose, I'd probably say Sashida for the win. I know a lot of guys are talking about Isaiah, maybe a live underdog, but I think Sashida overall should have the weapons to deal with him here. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Let's keep it moving. Right. Up next, we have Isannuea taking on Isannuea in the Strawweight Muay Thai division. And I think this fight is the opening fight of the global card that's free on YouTube. Right now, Isannuea, Isannuea is 20 years old. His record in one championship is 2 wins, 2 losses in no contest. He lost to Tomyamkoong, who's also on this fight card, by the way, by unanimous decision in his last fight. I think he pretty much got found out there in that fight. I think Isannuea you could see the inexperience in him in that fight. He had a very good first round, but then like nothing after that. And actually, I saw that as a pattern in his 4 fights. Even the ones that he did win, is that he looks fabulous in the first round, absolutely fabulous in the first round, and then he can kind of navigate around. 2 of his wins is one of his 2 wins is by DQ, by the way. So he was basically losing the fight and his opponent got disqualified. Again, also inexperienced. Decisions led to that. But Isannuea, I think he's good. I think his style is good. I think he's got good boxing. His punching is really good. His kicks are really good. But I just think he's young, and I feel at the moment he's still a 1-round fighter kind of guy. I think in the later rounds he gets found out all the time. I think over time we can start recognizing him a little bit more. But I think right now he's gonna put on difficult performances to watch. Now, can he win this fight? Most certainly. Isannuea is 24 years old. His record in one championship is 1 win, 2 losses in a contest. That 1 win came by KO. He lost to Pet Pataya by unanimous decision in his last fight. So Isannuea, decent jumping knees, decent deep kicks. Boxing is very good. I think he might be the rangier fighting between the 2 guys here. This is a winnable fight for Isannuea. It is a very winnable fight for him. But I'm just wary of him in round 2 and 3, man. Like I've seen enough to see in his later rounds. He kind of like fades, and he fades hard, and that makes me worried for him in a fight where Isannuea may not be the most skillful guy or have the most devastating shot, but he's going to fight you with 3 rounds. He's not going to slow down. He's going to keep coming at you, and I think that can be a key factor in this fight for me. It could be the thing that swings the fight in Isannuea's favor slightly. But let's see what happens on the night. You guys can let me know in the comment section about that one. I think I'm going to keep it moving to the inner circle. Let's go. Inner circle. Just a reminder to you guys again, to like, comment, share, and subscribe. The inner circle, you see it on screen right there, live.1fc.com. You simply click on that link wherever you are in the world. Click on that link. It should take you to the One Championships platform where they show these fights, the inner circle fights, and then you get to sign up and subscribe. It may or may not be available, but I think it's global launch now, so it should be available everywhere around the world. Subscribe, in my opinion, and you get access to all these fights, but not only just the fights. There are other things you can get access to as well, which I think is quite fun. You have a look at it. Remember, this is also still very much a beta period for One Championships in the circle. A lot of these things are probably not going to look the same by the end of the year. Let's see how it goes on. But for now, let's move on to these fights and talk about them. So, this main event of the inner circle card is a banger. But again, like I said earlier on in the video, a lot of these fighters on this fight card, including this one, used to be a preliminary fight on a generally Friday fights card. It was never really a main event fight. And Javier Gonzalez, has been in the main event on a Friday fights card before. But I think it's safe to say that the Friday fights card has changed since then. Javier Gonzalez used to fight a lot around 22, 2023, 2021. But like, over the years, has tapered off. Has sort of like fought less and less in the promotion. Let's go through some numbers. This is the Flyweight Muay Thai division. Him. He's 21 years old. His record in one championship is 3 wins, 1 loss in no contest. He's got 2 wins by KO, 3 fight win streak, and he beat Tomyamkoong by 3rd round TKO in his last fight. Javier Gonzalez is 24 years old. His record in one championship is 5 wins, 5 losses in no contest. 2 wins by KO. He lost to Walter Concalves by unanimous decision in his last fight. So, in fact, I thought he was going to beat Goncalves. Goncalves beat him up by just being the cleaner fighter, sharper striker, on the back foot, defensively sound, never really got tagged by anything, and yeah, just basically schooled him. Now, I think Gonzalez may have shifted gyms, if I'm not mistaken. I might be saying on the correction. Gonzalez, for me, became a fighter that I was like, I was hyped at first. I was hyped. I was like, he's not bad. Remember, I spoke with Ployjan last week on our Friday fights, and you were saying, are there any Spanish fighters that are actually good in Muay Thai? Because Pastor got KO'd within the first round last week or second round. And I said to him, Javier Gonzalez isn't too bad. And he's one of those guys. And he's like, oh, yes, I remember Gonzalez is actually very good. Like, yes, he is. He has unfortunate losses in one championship, but he puts on marvelous fights, right? Looking at the losses here, he lost to Palangpun, he lost to Kong Chai. Lots of fights here. He beat Omar Al Halabi. He lost to Dabdam and Kong Chai. So the only losses he's got is two, but is to Kong Chai, one to Dabdam, and then one to Palangpun. Oh, and then to Goncalves. But Goncalves is also a hit and a miss for me. Like, he's good one day, then he's terribly bad the other day. Right? But outside of that, Xavier Gonzalez did very good jobs in a lot of his fights. Doesn't get a lot of KOs. High volume striker, boxing heavy approach, does throw kicks out there, but boxing is really what he gets caught up into. It's kind of his default setting. It's like he may try something new in this fight. You might see him use some kicks heavy in this fight here, but it won't take long before Kaut him forces him to fight the fight that he wants to fight, which is that boxing, right? Aggressive. We want to stand in box. That might be, and Javier Gonzalez will probably welcome that on easy because that's his default setting. That's like, I don't mind boxing. That's actually what I want to do. But I think Kautem, for me, has the bigger gun. He got the bigger shots. His boxing is a little bit more aggressive. He's the bigger guy as well. I think he also has the more power. So it's like, I want to say Gonzalez, but I just don't know if he's going to be able to put time away. That's going to be a very good main event. That fight also might get the fans off their seats. Give me your thoughts, give me your opinions in the comment section, guys, while we keep moving, but I can't wait for that one. This is why I don't want to break it down too much, because I'm going to break it all down again this evening for our Pretty Man segment, where I'm going to go a little bit more in depth, particularly with the fights that I'm not breaking down too in depth. It's obviously, where you guys know, I'm probably going to give picks on those ones, which is why I'm going to reserve that for a little bit later. But this is a very, very good fight for this fight card. For now, we'll keep it moving. Let's go. Okay, Strawweight Muay Thai up next. We have Aekkalak taking on Dokmaipa, also known as the Wildflower. Very cool name. Aekkalak. Yeah. Aekkalak is 26 years old. His record in one championship is 2 wins, 1 loss, no contest, 1 win by KO, 2 fight wins taken. He beat Song Payak by second round KO. Dokmaipa is 21 years old. Shocking to me because he looks like he's at least 30. He's 21 years old. He's making his one championship debut. This is his record though. 65 wins, 12 losses. And I'm like 21 years old. Like, look at his face, bro. Like, you can't see it on screen right now, but you guys are gonna see him when he's fighting. You're gonna ask you, you're gonna say to yourself, "Is this man really 21?" Look at him. Look at his face. Anyway, he has fought in RWS most recently, and had a very good win in RWS. I remember he basically knocked the guy out by kicking his arm. He kicked the man's arm, and the guy went down. And he basically couldn't use his right arm after that. And he was like, can't continue. My arm is fucked. I can't even lift it up. So he does that really well. He fought with Compet. You guys know Compet. He beat Kong Shai in his last fight. He fought Compet twice. He beat Compet at Channel 7 badly within 5 rounds. Southpaw fighter. He doesn't really start fast. In fact, he's not a very fast fighter in the sense of high volume, high pace. But the stuff that he does throw, like his kicks and punches, come at you with like this. They are quite fast in that regard. Right? He's got very good body kicks from what I've watched from the left side. In fact, that's his primary source of weapons. Is his left body kick. Left, he goes body, he goes high. When he kicks from the right side, it's also body or high, but primarily high. Left kicks is usually where he conditions you. I like his defense. It's sound. One of the best defenses I've ever seen, in the sense of if you go straight boxing with him, you're going to catch him. Yeah, his boxing defense is not necessarily the greatest. But in terms of like if you're gonna kick to his body, kick to his head, or kick to his legs, he's gonna check everything. This man's defense is very good. He checks everything. I mean, that fight against Compet couldn't even land a single kick. Everything he threw was checked over 5 rounds or so. I was like, yo, this guy, Dokmaipa's defense is top throw. Good fast left straight off the body kick, which is one of the weapons he loves to throw when he's looking to kind of get a knockdown or something. So you'll see him stand there and you will blast a left kick to the body, low kick it, you'll tip, you'll check, you'll throw a left straight, you'll check, low kick, left straight, high kick, check, switch kick, and then you'll throw a hard left high kick. Boom! But you'll follow up with a hard left straight immediately. Bang. It's like something he loves to like throw every so now and then within his patterns of strikes. This fight is super intriguing for me because I want to say Dokmaipa, but that could just be because I'm falling in love with the style that I watched in his tape, right? I don't want that to be the motivation for a pick here because Aekkalak is devastating. This man will knock you out. Beautiful left strikes, strong left hook, decent right high kick. He's pretty badass. And he's also one of those fighters that don't take backward steps. Goes forward, wants to take your head off, looks to fight for the fans and for himself, looks for that finish all the time. Dokmaipa, who is a very slow starter, also a low firing rate kind of fighter. It's contrasting styles. I think Aekkalak will know what to do in the sense of put the pace, put the pressure, put the volume on Dokmaipa, and you probably could get him out of there. But I mean, 65 wins and only 12 losses. That's a very high percentage win rate, in my opinion. So this fight is so hard for me to choose. Give me your thoughts, give me your opinions. I think DSPV did go with Dokmaipa, but yeah, I'm not gonna take that risk, especially because we got 2 fight cards to bet on. I don't want to take that risk. Let's keep it moving. Next bout on the fight card. Okay, strawweight Muay Thai. Again, another staying in this division. Tomyamkoong taking on Bejenuta. This is also going to be a fun fight. I think Tomyamkoong was looking great until his last fight. He's 22 years old. His record in one championship is 7 wins, 1 loss. There's no contest. He's got 2 wins by KO, 1 win by TKO. He was on a 7-fight win streak before losing to Tao by second round KO in his last fight. And that was a rematch also. He won the first fight with them and then lost the second one. So they 1-1 now. And Tao is pretty much a badass, powerful, strong gangster that goes in there to knock people out. Tomyamkoong, 22 years old, the record in one championship is 4 wins, 4 losses in no contest. 2 wins by KO. He beat Payakrut by unanimous decision in his last fight. Basically schooled him. He just schooled it. It became a one-sided fight after the first round. I think stylistically, these guys are fairly even. I think Tomyamkoong's got the maybe bigger shot on him, but he is a boxing approach kind of fighter. He does throw kicks every so now and then, but what he really wants to do is just kind of get into the range of just staying in the pocket, and he believes he's the stronger guy, and I think he's looking to get that right hand over and right on you. It's like one of his favorite weapons to throw. But, and this is the big but, Tomyamkoong is a very well-rounded fighter. He's very good in the clinch. He's got sharp boxing, a nice jumping knee. His timing is fantastic. He's very good on the back foot as well. I think overall, Tomyamkoong may just be the more safer bet and the more well-rounded fighter. But Tomyamkoong is probably going to be the one going forward mostly in this fight. I expect him to go forward a lot here in this fight, which is why, again, it's hard to choose. I want to go Tomyamkoong here. I think I want to go with Tomyamkoong because I think the power could be the big equalizer in this fight. And because of the sheer boxing style that he has, it's aggressive. It might just force Tomyamkoong to fight that style, which is probably not what he wants to do. Tomyamkoong wants to fight you, break you down over 3 rounds, methodically crack you down, kick the legs, the body, set up those boxing shots, and then basically look for the finishing shot later. Doesn't really get a lot of KOs. It's more of a decision kind of fighter. And you can't really ignore Tomyamkoong's body of work before losing to Tao in his last fight. I would say, and I won't even say safe money, will fight not to go the distance. I think this fight is going to go the distance. And if it does go the distance, I'm probably going to favor Tomyamkoong. I think if it's a finish, Tomyamkoong is likely to get that finish. Give me your thoughts, give me your opinions. Now I'll keep it moving to the next part in the fight card. Okay, up next, flyweight Muay Thai, we have the return of Jaradchai taking on Thant Zin. I know this is going to be the one that's going to bring a lot of Myanmar guys to the chat because it is Myanmar. And Thant Zin's a bit of a fan favorite, even though he's been having a bit of a tough time in one championship. He still kind of brings a lot of audiences with him. So, Jaradchai, 18 years old. His record is in one championship is 2 wins, 0 losses, 0 no contest, 2 wins by KO. He beat Sanpet by second round KO in his last fight. Just a crazy, crazy mofo in there. Thant Zin is 21 years old. His record in one championship is 2 wins, 4 losses, 0 no contest, 1 win by KO, 1 win by TKO, 4 fight losing streak. Lost to Khunpon by unanimous decision in his last fight, and that was actually one of his best fights for me. Even though he's got 2 wins already in the promotion, but he fought against Khunpon, who is much more experienced than Thant Zin. But Thant Zin lasted 3 rounds with him, and fought really well in those 3 rounds. You could see the evolution in his game. He's slowly starting to get there. He's now training with Super Leg more regularly. So he's starting to evolve. You can see him starting to learn different stuff. He's a very hittable guy. Right? He also doesn't check any low kicks. Jaradchai is massive in comparison to him. Jaradchai is again one of the taller guys of the division. Really good jumping knees, good timing, good deep kicks, good high kicks, sharp boxing, sharp on the counter, and he's going to be able to strike in range where Thant Zin can't strike. Thant Zin's going to have to get very close. Thant Zin does, even though he's evolving under Super League, he still has this conscious pattern where it's that dart forward. You'll stand there, and then you'll do like a stutter step, but then you'll just dart forward, and then as you dart forward, you'll go and then look for overhand. Right, you'll wail on you, look for overhand, or catch you with a left hook, or you'll throw a hard low kick, or you'll throw a hard inside low kick. But he's very readable. He's very predictable. He's got telegraphed strikes. He's always trying to dart, and you'll always like warm up his legs, watch his legs. He'll always be like a stutter man, and then he'll like run forward. He always starts his striking with that. His feet will always like do like a shuffle before he moves forward. And that's why you can always read him. You can always time him. You can always find what he's going to do next. He kind of tells you what he's going to do without even throwing a shot. The fact that his feet starts to shuffle, you're like, okay, he's going to commit to something here. He's not going to feint with that. He doesn't really throw any feints. Thant Zin is an all-in kind of guy. He doesn't really pull any punches, right? And he could catch Jaradchai in this fight. He could catch Jaradchai with a body shot. He could catch Jaradchai coming in. I think Jaradchai with that range and that length and that style, it's too tricky for guys like Thant Zin, which is why I'm not faithful in Thant Zin here. You could put the underdog bet on Thant Zin. I don't know what the odds are. You could put, if he's underdog, you could put something on Thant Zin, but in all honesty, I'm not that confident in Thant Zin in this fight. Really, I'm not. I think Jaradchai he's gonna put in a performance here now, and people are gonna go, forgot about this kid. That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna forget that Jaradchai has put in some good work so far in one championship already. And I think he's got too many advantages to win this fight for me, which is why I'm not confident in Thant Zin here. But let's see. I could be completely wrong. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. We'll keep it moving. Opening bout for me, opening bout of the fight card in total, we have Muay taking on Tiger Ori. Basically a Belazian, which is mad. But anyway, Za is making his one championship debut. I've got here no tape, which is me. Obviously means this like you just can't find anything on the guy. But he's from India, and I think that kind of tells me that. Hold on, I could find something here quickly. Just give me a second. One second. I think I may have some information on the guy here. Just give me one moment. I'm trying to find 149. Ooh, I think I could find something here quickly. Maui getting tagged. He's really low volume, decent takedowns and ground and pound. If he can't get takedown, he might be fucked. Okay, so I'm just reading my notes that I got from PSPV. I should have looked at this earlier, but yeah, I thought so. It's just because there's no tape on the guy. That's what I thought. It's just hard to find tape on this man on Za. I have seen Tiger's fights. I've seen Tiger. He's quite aggressive, but he's mainly only really fought in Japan. Stayed in that region over there. So he's 30 years old. His pro record is 3 wins, 0 losses, 0 no contest, 2 wins by sub, 1 win by TKO. He's got an amateur record of 9 wins, 3 losses, which is I think is really good. So he's actually got good experience there. Seems to be a well-rounded fighter. So striking, grappling, wherever the fight goes, submissions, you can kind of use all of it. But he does love to start striking first. I think Zai looks like what I was about to say earlier is that since he's from India, he's probably going to be primarily a wrestler. And I kind of agree with his take there. I forgot that he actually put that note down there because I didn't look at that note before looking into this fight. And when I watched the tape on the guys, I was like, I think Tiger is probably going to beat him. Tiger looks quite intense, but again, only really fought against Japanese guys, or at least in that circuit of fighters, that part of Asia. I don't have anything else to say about the fight. I may even include Ori into one of our parlays because I feel like he's gonna win anyway. But it all depends on the pricing. Otherwise, I'm not really gonna commit to it. You guys can let me know what you think in the comment section. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Just a reminder: one inner circle starts at 1:30 South African time. If you have not subscribed yet, please go click on live.1mc.com. Get yourself subscribed so you can get access to these early fights. Because arguably, if you guys look at the whole entire fight card, the banger fights is actually on the inner circle fights. The remainder of the fight card, although we'll have some really good fights, I mean, Kunsuk, Ali Kelat, Isannuea, and Khunpon, I think those are really bangers. But really, if you don't only want to watch these fights, I'd say go to the inner circle. But okay, that is my time, ladies and gentlemen. Please made this far. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Just a reminder again, we are going to be live at 9 p.m. South African time where we do our Petty Man segment where we give you guys all of our picks for Friday fights as well as the UFC. And then again, tomorrow is Good Friday, but we will still be live from 1:30 South African time on YouTube to do a nice live watch along for One Friday Fights 149. On that note, everybody, please have yourself a fantastic day, morning, evening, wherever you're watching from, and then we will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers, everybody.